Legends Black Ops 6 Season 2 Reloaded is coming very soon. I really didn't even expect this to be happening all that soon, but Call of Duty literally just dropped the Black Ops 6 Season 2 Reloaded content drop, and yeah, I'm kind of freaking out right now. Like, I can barely contain myself, and you're gonna see why in a sec. Obviously, some of this content, we already kind of knew about it. It was somewhat planned, but Treyarch decided to just completely throw some random stuff in here like this, the D13 Sector from Black Ops 3 coming back? Like, what? Yeah, I haven't actually felt this excited about Black Ops 6 maybe since the game launched. I might even be more excited than that. But yes, if you're excited to see Season 2 Reloaded for Black Ops 6, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. Okay, so Season 2 Reloaded obviously has the collab with Call of Duty and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, plus 2 multiplayer maps, 6 new weapons, directed mode for the Tomb, and more. Season 2 Reloaded for Black Ops 6 is going to be launching on February 20th, so literally this Thursday. They're just now sharing this information with us 2 days before it happens, which is kind of crazy because usually they at least give us about like a week or so, at least typically for the main seasons. I guess this is technically just the Reloaded season, but yeah. And for once, I'm actually really excited about the content, but I do want to try to temper my expectations a little bit. I am getting really excited because of the D13 Sector coming back, but we do need to wait and see if it's actually going to be good in the game because it was added to COD Mobile, and in COD Mobile, it's actually not as good as it was in Black Ops 3, so we'll have to wait and see. But let's keep reading. The mid-season update for Black Ops 6 sets the stakes even higher with new maps, new weapons and attachments, perks, and more, including an awesome seasonal collaboration featuring everyone's favorite heroes in a half shell. Thankfully, it's not the Turtles from Modern Warfare 2. Okay, so that officially confirms BO6 Season 2 Reloaded arrives on Thursday, February 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time across all platforms. Dope. And I mean, the screenshots right there, dude. It's the D13 Sector. That is literally the disc gun. It's shooting a pizza right there, dude. I'm telling you. Just please, Treyarch, if you're gonna put something this fun in the game, make it actually fun. I'm really hoping that the D13 Sector is actually good. But again, we gotta check out everything that's in this blog right now. Okay, so the content summary is obviously 2 maps, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mosh Pit, and then new loadout content. For multiplayer maps, we have Grind Ooze, which is obviously the remaster of Grind from Black Ops 2, 6v6 medium-sized map. And yeah, it's Grind, but it's also got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plastered all over the map. It really shouldn't make a huge difference. I mean, layout-wise, it looks like it's exactly the same as Grind from Black Ops 2. And I know a lot of people have been complaining about the maps in BO6 basically since launch, so it's pretty awesome to see that we're getting a pretty good medium-sized map into Black Ops 6, even if it is just a remaster from BO2. So massive W right there. And then, of course, we have Bullet, which is going to be a brand new strike map, which means it can be played in 6v2 or 2v2. It's a small size map, and look at the layout. They finally shared the layout picture. That is kind of a suggestive shape, I gotta say, but it's gonna be absolutely insane for sniper collats, and probably even the D13 Sector as well, because if this thing is good, if it ricochets a bunch and if it can kill multiple people, you could just shoot the disc gun, pizzas will be flying all over the place, you'll be getting quads and stuff, it'll be insane. At least if it's good. Treyarch, please make sure that it's good. The map description says 7 rogue team deploy to a high-speed bullet train go boom to neutralize a key enemy target. Keep your eyes sharp when moving up and sweeping the carriages. The automatic sliding doors may reveal an incoming enemy at a moment's notice. Climb up to the roof of the train to feel the whipping wind and marvel at the landscape flying by. That's sick. I'm really glad that they're going to be opening up that like top lane for the map, but obviously it'll kind of reduce the chances of getting insane collats, at least in 6v6 if everyone tries to go to the roof. But lastly, it says be ready to defend your spot up top and then drop back down behind the enemy line. Overall, I do think this is a really unique concept for a map, and it sounds like it could be a lot of fun to play, but we'll have to see how it actually turns out in practice. But yeah, those are the 2 new maps coming to Season 2 Reloaded for BO6. We've known about them for quite some time, but we actually did get some more information about how these maps are going to play out. Now, this one actually sounds pretty interesting. We have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themed LTM, and it's just going to be called TMNT Mosh Pit. And there's our little turtles here chilling on Grind Ooze. So it says, enter a game of team deathmatch, domination, or hardpoint, and unleash ninja level abilities and TMNT score streaks against your enemies in pursuit of victory. These special score streaks are earned by scoring as normal, but because the turtles work as a team, objective plays award an increase in the score. Okay, so the special score streak gives you general abilities. It says for 30 seconds, gain increased health plus fast health regen and increased movement speed and melee range. A HUD indicator will flash when an enemy is outside your view, so basically you get high alert, and being shot while running toward an enemy will not slow you down. So that's kind of sick. They're going to be getting rid of the whole like stun bullet mechanic. It says you can perform finishing moves on enemies from any direction, plus gain the ability to double jump and air dash. Oh my God, Treyarch is absolutely cooking with some of these LTMs. I mean, even though a lot of people didn't really enjoy the Squid Game stuff, I really enjoyed the Pentathlon game mode. It was really fun for earning score streaks. Right now we have Overdrive, which is really just an insane fast-paced mode, and it's a lot of fun to play. I wish that we could have played other game modes aside from just Team Deathmatch on these different maps. I wish it was a mosh pit playlist, and I wish that the score limits were higher so it wouldn't end as fast, but this one is sounding absolutely insane. Although I gotta say, it really sounds like it's gonna be way more geared towards trying to, use melee weapons, but I think that could be a fun change of pace for sure. It's something very different that we haven't seen in Black Ops 6 or really any Call of Duty game in quite a minute. But those were just the general abilities. Now we have turtle powers.
I like turtles.
Using your TMNT score streak also activates one of several different character-specific abilities. One of these abilities is assigned randomly to players at the start of the match. Those deploying with a TMNT operator, however, will get access to the... So that's how they're gonna try to convince you to buy the skins. So if you actually buy the bundle and if you rock a specific character when you go to play this mode, you're going to guarantee that you get the ability. I'm really just hoping that all of these abilities are well balanced and that there's not going to be one specific one that people want to try to force every single time, which is going to basically make the mode pay to win, which would be stupid. I don't know how they come up with or get away with these types of things, but anyway, Splinter will have the ability to vanish in smoke and teleport to a safe location behind enemy lines. If you're playing Leonardo, you gain the Tracker, Ghost, Vigilance, and Cold-Blooded perks to navigate the map in stealth. Okay. Then, of course, you have Donatello. You can see operators through walls, as well as equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks. Hack enemy equipment. You get wall hacks, bro! That's absolutely nuts. If you're playing Michelangelo, it drops a pizza box for your team. Players who eat a slice will deal double damage for a short time, and it replenishes ammo and equipment. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? And then Raphael gets unlimited shurikens, so... all of them are broken. It's kind of like the OG Modern Warfare 2. Nothing's really broken if everything's broken. So I think in general, this LTM is just going to be crazy. But next up, we have new loadout content. It says, mark the next target for elimination and swap your dedicated melee for a launcher with 2 new loadout items, expanding your options in the field. So the first thing we have is a new perk. This is Hunter's Instinct. It is perk slot 2. It's a red perk, and it's available as a Season 2 reloaded reward. It says, eliminating an enemy will mark the next closest one. A narrow cone briefly appears on your minimap after an elimination, showing the general direction of your next nearest foe, which should be pretty good for aggressive play. You could pair this with Slipstream, which has been an amazing perk so far in BO6. This actually seems like a pretty good perk, and I can't believe that BO6 actually has a good update coming, man. Like a really good, solid one. There's a lot of good content in here so far, and I feel like it should keep getting better. Except for maybe this one. We have a new wild card called Fly Swatter. I do remember seeing this in the initial Season 2 blog post, and this one allows a player to replace their dedicated melee weapon with a launcher. I'm not exactly sure how useful this one's going to be, but if you want to run this wild card, go for it. Gunfighter and Perk Greed, in my opinion, are much better picks. Now, there is going to be more stuff coming to multiplayer, but I do want to talk about the stuff that's coming to zombies because there's an insane LTM coming to the game, which actually sounds like a lot of fun. As a quick summary, the tomb is obviously getting directed mode, which should be pretty fun. You might want to try to beat the Easter egg in the next couple days if you're trying to get that special calling card. But there's also going to be this getting added, which is Cowabunga Cranked. It says Raged Like Ralph in TMNT Cranked. So let's go ahead and see what exactly this is going to be about. It says add some high octane urgency to any of the 4 zombies maps and your undead horde slaying in Cowabunga Cranked. Drop into Terminus, Liberty Falls, Citadel, or the tomb with your loadout of choice and eliminate a zombie to trigger the Cranked timer. If you fail to eliminate a zombie before the timer hits 0, boom. Kaboom, you're gone. Now, honestly, I can't remember if they've ever done Cranked in zombies before, but this is really making me think back to the OG Modern Warfare 3. It's making me think of Chaos Mode, where this is really a more arcade-like version of zombies, where you have to keep chaining kills back to back, and if you don't, the timer will run out and you will just lose, which sounds really intense. It could be a lot of fun, but as we keep reading, it says, as rounds progress, the Cranked timer will continue to shrink, so keep pushing the fights to stay in the game. Thankfully, there are several pizza power-ups that could drop in the match, including Turtle Power, which temporarily empowers the player with a health bonus and a Pack-a-Punch 3 legendary melee weapon. You can get the pizza box, which will fill the Cranked timer to the max immediately, and then there's Slice O Pie, which is a partial time added to the Cranked timer. It also says all players in this mode are given the Donnie's Time Stopper field upgrade, activated to pause the Cranked timer for a full minute, so that's going to be obviously super helpful, but it does mean that you potentially have to sacrifice a different field upgrade. Most people run Aether Shroud, which is obviously very helpful too. It also says deploy as a Ninja Turtle operator to gain 50% reduced damage from behind. Join as Splinter for a slightly increased chance for a Slice O Pie to drop from eliminated enemies. But yeah, that is kind of goofy, and I don't fully agree with the idea of trying to encourage people to buy the skins to get some kind of advantage in the LTMs. I'm not for that. I'm just reading the information. This is how they decided to structure the event. So it says, for those craving a real challenge, main quest will be active in Cowabunga Cranked with a subtly different TMNT version of each map's main quest completion calling card available as a memento for anyone radical enough to achieve this feat. Think you can finish them all. So there's gonna be special calling cards if you complete the main quest on all 4 maps. This is a massive W for zombies, at least I feel like. This is way better than the Squid Game LTM. I feel like this is the best one that we've had so far. It adds way more replay value to zombies. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of them trying to encourage you to buy the bundles to have an advantage in this mode, but ultimately you can still play all this stuff free to play, and if you end up doing well without having to spend money, then that kind of makes the achievements and beating all of this stuff even cooler in my opinion. And then of course we have directed mode coming to the tomb. I'm sure a lot of us at this point are very familiar with how directed mode works in zombies, but for those that aren't, basically in directed mode you can take on the main quest, and the game is going to tell you how to do the different steps, and there's going to be a max round cap of 15 as you progress the map, which makes it way easier to complete. And then of course Warzone will be getting some Season 2 Reloaded content as well, although I'd imagine it's probably not going to be as much. Warzone has really taken a backseat for Season 2 because I'm pretty sure that Season 3 is going to be massive for Warzone, especially with the reintroduction of Verdansk. I'm just going to be going over the content summary because I don't really care that much about Warzone, but for Season 2 Reloaded, it says we're continuing to prioritize gameplay tuning, quality of life improvements, and more throughout the mid-season as players deploy across Urzikstan, Area 99, and Rebirth Islands, and there's going to be the new low profile perk. That's basically it for Warzone. Nothing else is really coming to the game. And low profile is going to allow you to move more quickly while crouched and prone. Enemies you kill will not have death markers for their allies, and you can also move slightly faster when downed. That's literally it for Warzone. I kind of feel bad for the Warzone guys, but I'm sure that Season 3 is going to be a really big season for them. At least we'll have to wait and see. But lads, this is the moment of truth. This is the general content update for all 3 modes, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. They're saying the mid-season update brings epic new weapons to battle with, including a saw blade secondary weapon and a whopping 5 new melee weapons. They're saying note that the base versions of the bow staff, katanas, sai, and nunchuck melee weapons will be available to unlock via the armory at the start of Season 2 Reloaded. But dude, this is the big one right here, the secondary weapon. The D13 Sector is what they've named it. This is a special weapon. It's part of the TMNT event, and it's a free track reward, so you don't have to spend any money on this, although I'm sure they're probably going to try to have a day 1 bundle so you can get immediate access to it. The weapon's gonna have 20 levels, it's gonna have 3 mags in reserve, and a mag size of 5, which kind of already has me questioning how this thing's gonna work, but we obviously have to keep reading. It will have some attachments. You can get a barrel, under barrel, magazine, and stock attachment, and it says it will have skins, accessories, and decals. I'm sure it's gonna have camos as well. Its in-game weapon description is gonna say rechambering blade launcher, equip different magazines to access a variety of deadly projectile types. So yeah, this thing could end up being very different than the D13 Sector in BO3, but there's still more to read. It says cut the enemy to ribbons with this special secondary weapon that fires saw blades at your foe. A variant based on the infamous D13 Sector in Black Ops 3. Use this special launcher by firing down sights or off the hip and account for the weapon's heavier projectiles when acquiring targets. A quick reload speed gets you back into the action with several powerful attachments available via Gunsmith, including new projectile types like the explosive and ricochet blades, as well as a long barrel, crossbar, and an overclocked stock. Dude, it sounds fucking awesome. I'm really hoping that out of all of the weapons we've gotten in Season 2 as a whole, I'm really hoping that this one is the fun one. I'm hoping that it does kind of launch in a somewhat broken state. It needs to be slightly above the power curve to make it fun and actually get people on the game wanting to unlock it and use it. Based off of this description, especially with the fact that it's going to have attachments compared to the original one, which didn't have anything, this thing could be even more broken. It could be even more fun, but we'll have to see how Treyarch actually balances it at launch and also in the weeks following. And you guys already know, I've been very transparent and upfront about this season being kind of stale, kind of mid, a little boring at times, and I'm really hoping that putting this back into the game will really spice things up. On top of all of these melee weapons coming to the game, because we're getting a skateboard. I jokingly said that with the return of grinds, there's going to be some kind of skateboard Easter egg or something like a melee weapon, and sure enough, we have a skateboard as a melee weapon in Call of Duty. This is obviously part of the Turtles event as well. It's a free track reward, but it also says there's a premium track reward, so you get an additional skateboard blueprint. It has 30 levels, there's mastery badges, there's obviously no attachments, and there are skin options too. It's a one-hit melee, moderately fast attack speed, and it has moderately long range. Hold onto your board deck side out and swat away enemies in your way. The skateboard features swiping attacks from side to side, as well as an overhead slam, so it sounds like you'll be able to use the right and left trigger to get 2 different types of melee attacks. I'm just really glad that it's a one-hit elimination. I'm so tired of these 2-hit elimination melee weapons, but I'm sure there's going to be some other ones on this list that are also 2 hits. Next up, we have the katanas. This is an armory unlock, and it says the blueprint version is the one that's shown via a bundle, so I think you'd have to buy this one to get this specific look. It also has 30 levels. It's all the same stuff as the skateboard. However, this one is also a one-hit elimination, moderately fast attack speed, but it's short range, so this one might not be nearly as good. But it looks like it will also have a heavy attack similar to the skateboard, where you could do do like a mini finishing move. Next up, we have the bow staff. This is also an armory unlock, and they're showing the blueprint version via the bundle, but you can also get it in the TMNT event as a premium track reward, so it's an additional blueprint, but overall, you will be able to unlock this for free too. This one's pretty interesting because it says it's a one-hit kill, slow attack speed, but very long range. I'm curious to see how long that range is going to be. And then we have the nunchaku. It's just nunchucks, right? Obviously, again, it's a melee weapon. It's also available as an armory unlock, and they're showing the blueprint, which is available via a bundle. This one is a 2-hit elimination, very fast attack speed, and medium range. Now, hopefully, it really does have a fast attack speed and decent range because 2-hit melees are garbage. It could be good as long as it does have a fast follow-up attack. I feel like that's really where the bat and the power drill kind of suffer in the game. But lastly, we have our final new melee weapon here, which is the Sai. Again, it's an armory unlock, and they're showing the blueprint version here, which is part of a bundle. This one is also a one-hit elimination, but it has a fast attack speed and very short range. So yeah, for Season 2 Reloaded, we're gonna have 6 new weapons. 5 of them are melee weapons, and then we have the D13 Sector. Now, what's really interesting about this is that the special weapon was not shown anywhere at the beginning of Season 2. We really had no expectation that this was gonna be coming to the game. And then, of course, we have 5 melee weapons, which we did kind of know about. And it makes sense that all of these melee weapons would be coming to the game as part of the Turtles collab because these are the weapons that they would use. But next up, let's talk about some new special weapon attachments coming to the game, which in essence is the aftermarket part system in BO6. They're just not officially calling it that. Okay, honestly, this is kind of strange because they say attachments, but we only have one for Season 2 Reloaded. It is going to be the belt-fed attachment for the LMGs, which we did kind of already know about. There's going to be 4 variants of this for the PU-21, the XMG, the GPMG-7, and the Fang 82 LMGs. It's going to be a new magazine attachment that is a free track reward as part of the Turtles event. It says outfit any of the 4 available LMGs with a large helping of extra ammo continuously fed to the weapon through sustained fire. Belt-fed weapons can overheat through extensive use, so lay off the trigger now and then to let things cool down before resuming your attack. So yeah, just in case you guys aren't familiar with belt-fed attachments, basically, this attachment is going to give all of the LMGs one big massive magazine that can't be reloaded, and you can basically shoot as much as you want, but you do have to be careful, and there's probably going to be something on the HUD that will let you know if your LMG is about to overheat. At least I would hope so, because if not, you're going to have to pay attention to whether or not the barrel is overheating on the gun. There's probably going to be some kind of visual indicator to let you know if it's going to overheat. It does sound like a really fun attachment, but we'll have to see if it's any good. And then, of course, we have the events for Season 2 Reloaded. Safe to say that there's going to be a Call of Duty and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab coming to the game very soon. It's obviously going to have stuff for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. However, the actual event itself starts on February 27th, and it's going to go to March 13th, so it's not starting this week. Wait a second, so that's actually really confusing. I wanted to see exactly when you can get the D13 Sector in BO6, and it is part of the TMNT event, so we are not going to have access to this thing on Thursday. We're probably going to have to wait at least another week or so now. You can't do this to me, Treyarch. I want to use it so bad. Okay, so this is Splinter, so that's the dude who's going to have that little added bonus in the LTM as well. But yes, much like the Squid Game events, we're going to see the return of the event pass. There's going to be a free track, and you can earn and unlock all of this stuff for free, but if you want to pay for the premium track, you can get some extra skins, some extra rewards. And just like the Squid Game event pass, it does seem like it's a decent value. I'm pretty sure it's going to cost like $10 worth of COD points. If you want to get this stuff, it's completely optional. You don't have to actually pay for it. And the free track is going to have a lot of the really cool stuff, like the skateboard melee weapon, the belt-fed attachment for the LMGs, and then of course the D13 Sector as the final event reward. But I'm not gonna lie, man, the premium track looks like it has some pretty cool stuff as well. It's got a finishing move, it's got a cane blueprint for one of the melee weapons. We also have a skateboard blueprint. You get a blueprint for the D13 Sector, and obviously you get the Splinter operator.
So if you like running around as a rat in Call of Duty, this skin's perfect for you.
And again, if you want to progress the free track and you want to get these rewards, all you have to do is earn XP, so you can play anything you want. You can play multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone when the event goes live. You'll be able to unlock everything that's part of the free track for free. And I'm already seeing it at the bottom left right here. They say new store offerings, and I would not be surprised if they do try to sell a bundle that's going to have some kind of blueprint of the D13 Sector, so that way you don't even have to like do the free track. You can just get instant access to it. But before we get to that, there is going to be one more event for Season 2, which is going to be Clover Craze for all 3 modes. It's going to be starting on March 13th, and it's going to run until the end of the season. And there's a total of 10 rewards for this event. It says eliminate enemies in multiplayer and zombies and open caches in Warzone to acquire different types of clovers. Find the rare gold clover for the most points, and you can redeem these for rewards, including a lucky Cloverleaf Amis AR blueprint. And that's the weapon blueprint right there. Honestly, this event doesn't seem nearly as hype. I feel like it's a filler event to just kind of, give us something to do until Season 3 starts. But guys, the most important part of the blog post here, the new stuff that's coming to the store. Okay, so there's gonna be a tracer pack for Leonardo. I'm really kind of wondering if they're gonna be selling every single turtle individually, because if they are, That's gonna get expensive. Okay, so Leonardo is gonna get the katana, so that's gonna be the melee weapon that you get from buying his bundle. And then of course you have Donatello, which you have to buy separately. He gets the bow staff. So yeah, I think you're gonna have to buy all of these bundles if you want to play all of the different characters, which is gonna be kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure if you want to own all of these different skins, it could potentially cost more than the base price of Black Ops 6 itself, which is just wild. Yep, and it looks like that's still gonna be the case because Michelangelo, he's got a separate tracer pack. He's the one that gets the nunchucks. And then we have Raphael as well, who's gonna have the size. For Black History Month, there's gonna be a free gift pack on February 20th, so that's gonna be this Thursday. For Black History Month, there's gonna be a free gift that gives you a loading screen emblem and calling card, and you can get that from the store. For Women's History Month, there's gonna be a free gift pack on March 10th, which is also gonna give you a loading screen emblem and calling card celebrating Women's History Month, available in the store. And then it says invite drop, join the Call of Duty Recon Squad. What is this? It says our commitment to community feedback remains unwavering and ongoing as we strive with our continuing mission, making our games social and fun. We truly value your opinions and feedback on what matters to you. With this in mind, and in addition to the usual methods of communication, our players now have a new way to give their feedback. Okay, so this could be really interesting. It says introducing the Call of Duty Recon Squad. While playing Call of Duty, you may be invited to join the Call of Duty Recon Squad operated by Fuel Cycle. The Call of Duty Recon Squad is a Fuel Cycle research community that will be active throughout the Black Ops 6 and Warzone seasons. You'll have opportunities to provide feedback through surveys, online community discussion boards, and potentially even invited to focus groups. And best of all, any feedback you provide will earn points in the Recon Squad that you can redeem for BO6 and or Warzone in-game items. Fuel Cycle community research topics will be centered on recently released BO6 and Warzone content and many other topics related to Call of Duty. We're interested in hearing what you have to say about recent maps, modes, and other seasonal content from our games. This Fuel Cycle community is invite only, so you won't be able to forward this to any of your friends or family to have them sign up, so any invite you may receive is just for you. All types of players are being invited. No matter the modes or number of hours you play, we want to hear from you. If you receive an invite from Call of Duty via the email related to your Activision ID, don't miss out on this chance to have your voice heard and score some in-game items as a result. Overall, this just kind of sounds like a massive W. They want to continue to collect our feedback, and you can even get some in-game items as rewards for participating in stuff like this, so it's not like you're just giving them hours of your time and feedback for free. They're actually going to, in a way, compensate you. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but if there's one thing I know about the COD community, myself included, we are all very opinionated, and we all want to share our feedback on the game. So if you do get an invite to this Recon Squad thing, I feel like it's worth considering joining into it and trying to share your feedback. And it says upgrade to Black Ops 6 today, which means that we are at the end of the blog post. But dude, Season 2 Reloaded on paper is looking and sounding really good, but obviously we have to see how this stuff's gonna play out. Again, I'm really hoping that the D13 Sector is a really fun gun to use, and it does add some more replay value to Black Ops 6's multiplayer. The Turtles events does sound pretty cool, even for zombies as well. I feel like that's gonna add a lot of replay value to the maps. As far as it goes for multiplayer, we'll have to see how that plays out with, you know, the potential of buying certain skins and maybe having a potential pay to win advantage in the LTM. I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen. The modes do sound fun. I'm not exactly sure if there's going to be an uproar over the event pass stuff. I know that this is very similar to the stuff that Fortnite does, and a lot of people are very vocally not very happy about stuff like this being in the game. But personally, I feel like for the cost that this is going to be, which is probably like $10, it's not that bad of a value. If anything, I would be more frustrated with the fact that they decided to sell all of the different turtles as separate bundles instead of just putting them all in one thing. They're obviously trying to squeeze as much money as they can out of that side of things, but overall, Season 2 Reloaded from a free-to-play standpoint is looking pretty good. It looks pretty fun, but we're just gonna have to wait until next week to see exactly how this stuff turns out, because even though Season 2 Reloaded is dropping this Thursday, it looks like we're gonna have to wait at least another week before we can really dig into the event. But with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me cover all the latest news about Season 2 Reloaded for Black Ops 6. Based off of my last video, I did say that whoever got top comment would be deciding what game I play next, and based off of that top comment, I was supposed to make a video on Hello Kitty Island Adventure today, but this news just came up, so I had to make a video on this instead. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see either some more Black Ops 6 stuff, or I guess Hello Kitty Island Adventure, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys later.
Outcome. Train good.